This video is going to help if you're struggling with social anxiety, if you always feel like you have to wear masks socially, if you feel like you can't be yourself, your true authentic self, you always have to say the right lines, you always have to overthink about what you're saying, you're hyper aware of everything happening around you, and you just feel something, a weird thing, just keeping you from being who you want to be. There are two concepts we need to discuss first of all, etiology and teleology. Etiology is the way everyone views the world currently, and it's cause and effect, that's the basic principle. So with the social anxiety, it would be something like, I have social anxiety because I was bullied in the past, I have trauma of bullying. But teleology is purpose or reason and outcome, not cause and effect. So from a teleological perspective, it would be something like, I have social anxiety, I act this way because I want to achieve something. And that reason might be something like, I'm afraid that I might get into a situation which might get me bullied again. And I want to completely avoid that at all costs. So having that said, there is a reason from a teleological perspective, again, there is a reason that you act this way, that you have the social anxiety, that you don't change essentially. The benefits of your current life situation, of your current way of behaving with social anxiety, compounded with the pains of the new and desired life situation, because you kind of desire to be more social, to escape this state. But these two things compound and they are keeping you back, they are holding you back essentially. Because otherwise we would change, right? Think about it this way. You're sat here in this chair, I'm sat here in this chair, and it's very cold in here. And if it's very cold, I'm gonna acknowledge that I don't like the situation, I don't like how it feels, and I'm gonna go ahead and change it. I'm gonna dress properly or I'm gonna turn the heat on. I want to do that, I don't like the situation, and I just go ahead and do it. I don't need to watch YouTube videos or to motivate myself, to hype myself up to go ahead and turn the heat on. I'm just making a choice, right? Because I want to improve the current state of my life. But if I wouldn't do that, then it means that I don't really want it. I don't see, the pain of getting up from this chair and going ahead and turning the heat on or getting my clothes changed as being worthy compared to just being sat here in the chair. Another thing that often happens is that you might create reasons to keep yourself in this situation. So, for example, you might say that, okay, if I become as social as I want to become, then I will get more exposed, right? Then I will have the responsibility of carrying a conversation, and I don't want to have that burden. But you're just shifting the perspective towards a way that would reinforce you to stay in your current life situation. You see how your mind manipulates you to create reasons to not change. And you have to acknowledge this. This is just a trap. And then there is the fear of the unknown, which is a completely natural fear to have. You don't know what's coming for you if you change. That might be a reason as well that you don't do that. And that's a pain of the desired situation, the new situation. That's one of the reasons that's holding you back in the current situation, because you're very familiar with the current situation. We have a natural tendency to lean towards familiar circumstances. And this is just a primal survival instinct. This was passed on through generations, because back in the day, familiar circumstances meant safety. Nowadays, familiar circumstances don't necessarily mean safety, because the world is not that dangerous anymore. But it's our mission to overcome this, right? And to acknowledge the fact that they are not that useful nowadays. So, having that said, we can draw the conclusion that you kind of want to be like the social butterflies you encounter, but you don't actually really want, you don't see it as being worth it. You actually have a reason to stay in this situation, and you have to find that reason. So take some time off and just go ahead and do introspection practices, ask yourself questions, dive deep in your mind, and find the answers, find the weird answers that might come up. Just give them attention. Just continue asking yourself, why is this happening? Why is this the case? Why is this my belief? Is this real? Oftentimes the reasons that will come up when you do the introspection are not even valid, they're not even real, they are fake reasons, reasons that you just created in order to keep staying in this situation, and you are self-sabotaging. So you might be like, I don't want to become more social because then, or like, I don't want to escape my social anxiety state. Let's put it that way. Because if I do, then I will be more vulnerable, right? I will put myself out there more. I will be more authentic. People will be able to take advantage of me. But is the world such a cruel place, really? Like, maybe in the past it was, but maybe in the past it was for you as well, not only in the previous millennia or something like that. But nowadays it's not that hostile of a place. Yeah, when you were a child, people were like bullying more because they were just more stupid, right? Their brain was not so developed. But nowadays you are probably living among adults, and adults don't go ahead and bully you for no reason. Adults have more mature conversations, and you are more safe. After you do your introspection practices, after you find enough answers, what you should do is acknowledge it in the moment. Like, as soon as you start acting and thinking in this weird social anxiety way, just like stop a bit, detach, zoom out, realize, why am I thinking like this? This is so stupid. Am I acting in accordance to my current life situation, or am I acting in accordance to something that happened in the past? Is this an appropriate response to what's happening now? Is this serving me in any way? Realize that it's a choice. It's just a choice. It's your choice. You have the power to do it now. And because it's a choice, you are choosing to not change, or you can be choosing to change. So you're making a choice anyway. Your consciousness and your mind is what separates you from an animal. And your consciousness and your mind is what's keeping you in this state of social anxiety. But they are also the key to get you out of this state. So just put in the work, do the introspection, and with time you will realize, you will just see how your perspective changes when you view the world from the teleological perspective.